Only 8 minutes behind. That's not bad, right? Okay, so what I want to talk about. Hey guys, let's get started. So what I wanted to talk about, and we're kind of going to do this all together, right? It's kind of weird with you guys being behind me. So through this whole entire year, I want us to really kind of talk about and go over things, because I know you guys have noticed, especially over probably the past year, especially since we dropped insurance, or lots of insurances. The question, that I ask myself, and that we probably should all be asking ourselves a little bit is, okay, we are probably, I don't know for sure, but I think we're officially the most expensive place to go to in town, right? Because if we're not taking insurance, or not taking the majority of insurances, then it's going to be more expensive to come to our office, right? So the question then becomes, why would you go there, right? That's the question that I'm constantly thinking is, okay, so if it's me and I step back and look at it, what would cause me to want to go to my own office, besides, you guys are great, I love you guys, but if you're thinking about it from just an outside perspective, it's going to cost you more money, right? So why would you go there? So that's kind of this year I want to focus on, okay, what are some of the little things that we can do that will set that apart, okay? And then a lot of this stuff is stuff that we've talked about through the years, and we've added new people, and some of you have heard some of this, some of you have not heard some of this, but some of you have, and then I want us to kind of come together as a team and discuss ways that we can make that better, because honestly, it's the little things that make the biggest difference on whether or not somebody wants to come to your office or not, right? Because any of the people in any of the surrounding areas can do a crown, can do a filling, can make a denture, can pull a tooth, can do whatever, right? That is absolutely not what sets your office apart from other offices. What sets your office apart from other offices are all the little bitty things that go on throughout the day, right? And so that's kind of some of the things that I want us to talk about and really hone in and drive home and figure out how to make that better, okay? So when I was thinking about this particular, what we're going to do today, and think about it, what made me think about this, actually, I know a lot of you guys have noticed over the last few weeks I've had to go to Nashville during the week a few times, right? For various reasons, whatever, is an appointment or something like that. And so going to Nashville, I don't know how many, I know we have all at some point, but I don't know how often have gone to Nashville in the morning during rush hour. From here to Nashville, it's a nightmare. It is miserable. I'm sitting there thinking, how do people do this every single day? This is just horrible. So it took right at 2 hours to get from here to Nashville is what it takes in the morning time. So first thing in the morning. I don't know if anybody's ever done that at rush hour, but it is really, really difficult. And it starts at about the Spring Hill exit is where you hit the first kind of clump where people are starting to merge on, right? And so I was thinking about this while I was sitting in my car, and when you come to a stop and you're sitting there and you're wondering how am I not moving at all? There's no wreck, no construction, no nothing. Why is there absolutely no movement, no flow, no anything, right? And so I'm sitting there looking at my watch. I'm not accustomed to, sitting in traffic like that. I'm sitting there kind of gripping the steering wheel. My heart rate's going up a little bit. I'm getting aggravated. I want to jut in and out, which actually doesn't help anything usually, doesn't really speed you up at all. So I'm wanting to get going. I can feel my anxiety going up, my nerves going up, all this kind of stuff is ramping while I'm sitting there. And the reason that it's happening is because of that area where everybody starts trying to merge into one place, right? And so that's where all the traffic comes in. And so everybody's backing up, and it's getting very, very slow, right? And so that had me thinking about this idea of DevT, develop traffic. Who's heard of that? Who has not heard of that, I guess I should say. All right. DevT stands for developed traffic, and it's the same idea of thinking about sitting there where everybody's trying to merge in to one place, right? And everybody's starting to get backed up. People are starting to get ill and aggravated, trying to merge, in and out of traffic, trying to make their way to the front when really you really can't, because everything is just a bit of a confusion there, right? Because you have all these people trying to come in one area at one time, right? And everything just slows up, comes to a stop, right? That's developed traffic. And developed traffic in business is a similar type thing, right? So it's where things clog up for whatever reason, right? You're developing traffic for whatever. Could be communication, could be in the flow of your workflow, could be in the movement of a patient, whatever it could be in you trying to get your hat done, whatever it is. It could be any of those things, right? But that's where everything starts and comes to kind of a halt. It's like a bottleneck, right? And the traffic develops there. And those types of things are what slow you down, what make you less productive, what cause you to have to sit and wait, or cause a patient to have to sit and wait, or somebody on the phone to sit and wait, or whatever it is. It's because of these bottlenecks in this developed traffic, okay? Which can be, like I said, from whatever. You not being able to get your hat done to you can't communicate properly, or something's happening that is distracting somebody else. Who knows? There's all kinds of different ways to have developed traffic. Does that make sense?
The server being
Huh?
out. The server being down.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Yeah. Did y'all hear what she said? She said the server being down. So anything that causes a disrupt in the flow, right? That's definitely developed traffic. So I wanted to read, I wanted to read this review that we had. Where did I put it? Right here. This was from an actual patient. I think some of you read this because it was a few weeks ago. But it said, "These are the nicest people you will ever meet. Like, when you go to Chick-fil-A and you're going to get treated like you really matter, Owens Dental is exactly like that." Okay. When you read that, everybody knew exactly what they were talking about. Now, if the review had said, Owens Dental is exactly like the DMV, you're going to get treated exactly like that. Would that bring the idea of a 5-star review to you? But when they said Chick-fil-A, everybody knows exactly what they're talking about, right? There's just something different about going to Chick-fil-A versus whatever, Taco Bell or McDonald's or whatever, right? It's just different. The flow is different. The communication is different. Everything is different there. And that's why it's kind of the standard in the fast food industry, right? Because the developed traffic, you drive up and the line could be wrapped all the way around the building. And you pull in and you're not worried about it because you know it's going to flow quickly. McDonald's is backed up like that. You're like, oh no, I'm going somewhere else because this is going to take an hour, right? There's just something different. You walk into the DMV and you see a line like that, you automatically know this is going to be a nightmare, right? Because you're going to have people ill, you're going to have people complaining, you're going to have people at the front that are working there that are ill, that are not communicating properly. You get the idea, right? And so this idea of having a smooth flow and nothing in the way and nothing blocking it, Chick-fil-A has really got that down. Right? They've really figured that out, and they've figured out how to multiply it all over the country to where most Chick-fil-A's you go to, you're going to have a very similar experience, right? It's pretty fascinating, and you should have like a lot of respect for it. I mean, in fact, a lot of these have. McDonald's, you get pretty much the same experience everywhere you go. Is it the Chick-fil-A experience? No, but you know what you're going to get when you go there, right? They figured out how to replicate that over and over and over and over again. That's very difficult and very challenging to do, all right? And they've done it very well. So what I want us to look at a little bit is, okay, with us here at the office specifically, with you in your position, where is your developed traffic coming from? Right? What's causing it? What can fix it? Those are the things that I want to look at today and us to get into together. So first, I want to look at a few things so you guys have an idea when you go in and you're sitting down in because we're going to break up into groups, and you're sitting in your groups, okay, what exactly is he talking about? Right? So what exactly am I looking for in my particular position, right? So some things to look into, right? Miscommunication and inefficiency, right? So miscommunication and inefficiencies. So this can be improper communication. It can be communication where you don't know who to go to. So that could be on the org board. You guys remember what the org board is, right? That's to show you the flow of communication. That's what an org board's for. Right? So if you're unsure of where to go to with something specific, that's a miscommunication or improper communication, right? Maybe it's too much communication. Maybe it's somebody down the hall from me constantly coming to me and telling me about, their crappy boyfriend or something like that, or whatever. So that would be something that throws a wrench in your day every day, right? Because now you're like, oh, she's about to walk down here and tell me this, and I'm trying to set my room up or something like that, right? So that messes up the flow. That develops traffic. Does that make sense? Because you know that that's going to throw you off. That's going to throw off your flow, and it may even slow you down some, right? Interruptions and distractions. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Someone coming down and telling you a joke at just the wrong time, right? At just the time when you're like just getting into your flow and you're just getting into your hat and you're getting your work done and you're feeling productive, and all of a sudden somebody comes in and interrupts that and causes what's called developed traffic, right? Because it puts a stop up. Failure to follow proper channels, right? So that can be like a bypass, right? So somebody comes to you and tells you to do something that you're like, wait a minute, what? Where's that coming from? Does she know what I'm doing currently or whatever, right? Because somebody got bypassed, right? So that could be you doing it. That could be somebody coming to you and bypassing somebody. Or it could be you seeing somebody do that somewhere else, because that takes you off your flow and off your game, right? And then the last one that I had, what did I do with it? Unnecessary workload, which is that's a good one. Okay, that can be things that are getting put in your path. Maybe it's a form that you have to fill out. Maybe it's something you have to do with charting. Maybe it's something that you have to write down or do that you don't think is necessary, or that you think is causing you to decrease your flow and or causing you to develop traffic, right? So that you're getting blocked. Maybe it's raising your anxiety, whatever it is. So any of those types of things that are getting put in your path that are causing you to like stop, maybe increase that kind of gut, that little feeling you get in your gut when you're sitting in traffic. You're like, where you're feeling like, come on guys, let's go, get out of my way. I'm trying to be productive. I'm trying to get somewhere, right? It's the same thing at work. Any of those type of things that are getting put in your path that are causing you to feel that, or causing you to see that, that's developed traffic. And it may be something that you're not even seeing. It may be something that you're yourself doing and you're not even aware of it, right? One thing that's really that we do so well in this office is ARC, right? Is our communication, our affinity, and reality. Those things are really, really good, and I would never want to take those away. So some of the things that we may be looking at is just you having good ARC, right? Just you having good communication. I want to tell my friend about what happened this weekend, or what happened last night, or this joke that I read on Facebook, or whatever it is, right? That's good ARC, but developed traffic is when you do that in an inappropriate time, right? That causes congestion in that person's workflow. Does that make sense? So absolutely, there's always a good time to do that, and then sometimes there's not a good time to do that. So one thing I don't want to do is kill ARC, but one thing I do want to do is raise our awareness of, okay, if I do that at this particular time, am I causing a break in this person's cycle or in this person's flow, right? So you guys know what I'm talking about, cycle of action, right? So when you start something all the way to completion of that something, right? Start, change, and stops. So if you're started something and you're trying to get all the way to completion and somebody comes in and puts a stop in there, that's developing traffic in your cycle, right? And so now I got to figure out where was I? Now I got to figure out how to get back so I can get completion of that. Or maybe it throws you off track, and so developed traffic could be somebody coming in and putting you onto another task. So you didn't get finished with that cycle. Now you're off doing something else, right? And then maybe you come back and finish it. Maybe you forget about it. Who knows? Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. So those are the types of things that as we're kind of working through, because I want us to brainstorm these of how we can, where that's popping up and what we can do to make that better, okay? So, Bradley, will you help me pass these out? Oh, look at you. Yeah. Let me grab some of these. All right. I'm going to pass those. Okay, so we're going to get in groups of like 2 or 3. So if you just kind of all get together. 3, 3, 3, 2, 3. Hey, Bradley, can you come over here with Jane and Debbie? No, I have one more coming over. So 3 and 3. So Lucinda, it doesn't matter where you go. Bradley's coming over there. Okay. Let me borrow yours. Okay. So here's what we're looking at, guys. The first part, we're gonna be doing this together, and so I like how there's various. Here's a chair right here, bro. Yeah. There's 3 steps here, okay? Actually 4 steps, because we're gonna do that at the end. But the first one is just spotting where the dev tee is, okay? And so you guys can discuss that together. It's going to be different for all of you, right? Because you all wear different hats, right? So first, what is wasting time, and what is why is it a problem? So how does that affect you? Okay. We're going to spend about 5 minutes on that. Then we're going to go to 5 minutes on the dev tee and our daily work. Okay. You see these 3 with the blue bullets. What parts of your job feel overcomplicated? Are there steps that could be eliminated? And do we spend too much time on things that don't improve patient care? List some examples out there. Okay. So you guys are going to list some examples out there. Those can be together as a team, because we're going to kind of share those. Step 2.
Okay, so we're going to do our area.
And then, as always, we're not just going to come up with the problem. Step 3 is, okay, we want to have a solution for the problem. Right? You guys know one thing I don't really like is if you just come with me with a problem. Okay, come with a problem and also with a solution. Right? So step 3 is, okay, what's the solution to the problem that we're presenting? Okay?
So 1 is individual, 2 is the 3 of us, and 3 is probably handling all of those?
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. And so y'all can do that. You can discuss these as you go. And then step 4 we won't do yet. We're going to do that more towards the end. So do 1, 2, and 3, okay? So we're going to have about, it says 15 minutes. You're not going to have quite that long. But, okay.